Donnie McClurkin in the
My
building.
brother Muyiwa, how are you?
I'm doing great, Pastor. Great to see you.
Good to be seen. Good to see you over there in my hometown.
So, Pastor Donnie, we're talking because you're on your way to London. One of the questions that is already being fired by some of your fans on here, some of your followers, was, okay, this is Akil Henry. He says, when is the Live in London album recorded recently? We start with the easy one.
Exactly. When is the Live in London 20th anniversary coming up? In the 25th year. Now, we started in 2019. We did the recording, and then the pandemic hit, and that shut everything down. So we weren't able to get in and really do the adequate production work on it. And now that everything's starting to open up again, we thought that it'd be best now just to hold it for a 25th anniversary edition and finish up the work and videos that go along with it, because we missed a window. But
Right.
but the project is still coming out and it's still there. So I hope that answered your question. I hope that you all will anticipate it's coming. Anticipate it.
Well, Akil, that's the answer. And by the way, Pastor Donnie, Benjamin Winans, BB Winans wants to get in on a party.
Oh God! Ain't no telling what's gonna happen now.
Let me in. It's my concert. Let me in. So guys, if you're just joining us, the reason we're talking is BB Winans turning 60. He's doing a concert in London. Premier Gospel is a part of it. Glad to be a part of it. Donnie McClurkin is coming. Marvin Winans is coming. I mean, the list goes on. That's why we're talking. But let me throw one more question from your followers here before we dig in. Ryan Hilton, by the way, Pastor Donnie, Ryan Hilton is a young UK artist.
Okay.
Incredible. He's a PK. When we had Corinne Hawthorne, Marley Music, and Leandra Johnson, they were going to sing at Wembley, a venue that you've sung before. They were coming, and then we asked the audience in London who should be the support act. It was open to voting. This young man, hands down, won the votes, Ryan Hilton.
Wow.
So he's asked the question, Pastor Donnie, when did you feel called to lead worship? That's his question.
I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember, because it was something that happened so holistically. And when God does something, he prepares you inside even before it happens outwardly. So there's no one aha moment. There's not one moment where you realize and have an epiphany. It's something that grew in me as I grew. It was something that was holistically, supernaturally put in me. And as everything happened incrementally, it took, it took its form. Now, for me, it didn't happen like this. For everyone else, when you saw it happen, all of a sudden, oh, Donnie McClurkin. It didn't happen like that. It took time. It took years. It took trials. It took proving. It took consecration. It took real commitment to Christ. It took God whipping my behind when I did wrongly. It took God, he really worked on me in obscurity so that nobody could see the faults, the failures, the flaws. He had to take care of that behind the curtain so that when the curtain opened, I'd be ready to go out and minister, and you don't see my faults, flaws, and failures in the public eye. So obscurity sometimes is our best comrade, because it allows God to change us, to prepare us, to correct us outside of the view of the public. When the public sees those things, they go into this voyeuristic kind of destructive mechanism. Ooh, let me see what happened. Ooh, what did Donnie do? But God doesn't want that to be a part of my story in the public. He wants that to be a private situation where he could take care of me and make sure I was ready for when the curtain opened. And that is valuable. Don't rush it, because it's for your good.
Ryan, you got it there from the legend himself. So, Pastor Donnie. So, by the way, BB Winans, BB says, "Let me in." But BB, you have to request. You have to request to join. Please request, and I'll let you in immediately. I don't know. You may have to follow the radio station, Premier Gospel, and then request. But failing anything, ask the young people around you.
It helps. I'm telling you, it helps. Yes.
Donnie, I've seen a young lady on here asking where can they get tickets.
You can go to www.glowfestinternational.com. Glowfest is GLOFEST. So it's www.glowfestinternational.com. And that Ryan boy,
yep.
If he's coming, I want to hear him sing too.
Well, Ice, Mr. Glowfest, Salt Lights, you heard that. Pastor Donnie wants to hear, and I bet you if Pastor Donnie hears him, BB Winans will love him. Marvin Winans will love him.
I'll let him run up on stage for a second.
So a question for you, Pastor Donnie. I mean, it seems obvious that BB Winans hasn't been in London for a long time, and you certainly haven't been for a while. But having conversations with some people, and someone said, "Oh, but you know, why should I go to the concert? I mean, I haven't heard a new song from Marvin." Literally said it this evening. I haven't heard a new song from Marvin Winans in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, the truth of the matter is, the reason why anybody should come to this concert is, number one, the four of us have never been on the same stage together.
Wow.
And we're not doing it, you know, oh, Donnie McClurkin, thank you. Marvin Winans, thank you. No, we're doing it all together. BB's coming up with some kind of orchestrated, organized concert. And we're going to be working together. Number two, the songs and the catalog of Marvin Winans, whether new or not, is powerful all by itself. If he got up and just said, "The question is," that's all he'd have to say.
Ooh.
And the whole place would go up, you know? So even if he drew songs from yesterday, that voice of Marvin Winans, he is one of the greatest male vocalists in the world. And him and BB together, it's like, that's why you would come out. To hear Karen Clark Sheard, that's why you would come out, is so that you can hear all of us come out celebrating BB at his 60th birthday, celebrating the man, the music, the ministry of BB Winans, all together with some indigenous Londoners. It is going to be remarkable. That's why you should come out. Now, if you choose not to, it's going to be your own, it's your call. But if you come, you will be at one of the greatest concerts in London. And I'm glad to be a part of it. Come on out and see. Worship with us.
You know, Joshua D just said, so true. Marvin could sing the phone book.
Absolutely.
I think what they missed on that sentence is Marvin could sing the phone book and you'll feel the Holy.
I'm telling you, that Bishop Winans, it's very rare that anybody gets to hear him anyway. Mm-hmm. He's very, very, he's into the ministry of Perfecting Fellowship International and Perfecting Church. But to get him to stand on stage and to sing in a concert, that's not something that we see hardly ever, even here in America. So it is going to be literally a benefit and a treat.
So how is it that the four of you, by the way, BB Winans, please, I see you following Premier Gospel. Please request to join, and I'll bring you on. Like Wycliffe said, anything can happen. Say what? Anything.
What?
But how is it that in all these decades, the four of you have never been on stage together? It just seems ridiculous.
Because careers and ministries. Well, you know, BB's been doing this for over 3 decades. And the height of BB, you know, he's sung with and for some of the greatest people in this whole entire globe. Mm-hmm. He's written songs that have crossed over every boundary line, gospel, secular, pop. he's written songs and never lost the message. And you know, his sphere of concerting, we weren't always there. He's the one that really opened up many doors for me. Bebe Winans. Bebe Winans is the one that brought me to the attention of Oprah Winfrey and Maya Angelou. Bebe Winans is the one that gave me a seat on Sunday Best. Bebe Winans is the one that started the Donnie McClurkin show. Bebe Winans gave me much visibility, and he's always been happy to do so and step in the back. Wow. And that's the crazy thing. People would not have heard Stand in the magnitude that they heard Stand if Bebe hadn't taken the song and sung it on a Maya Angelou birthday cruise for her 70th birthday. And Oprah and Maya both were like, Bebe, that's one of the greatest songs you've ever written. Bebe said, no, I didn't write that song, but if you really want to hear it, you need to hear Donnie McClurkin. He still can't pronounce my last name right. Donnie McClurkin sing it. And Bebe has been my brother for, since about 1982, 83. And that is the real key behind this thing. So our paths seldom cross. Karen Clark Sheard, from the greatest singing female group in the world and one of the greatest vocalists in the world, her vector was always in another way because the church had her so overwhelmed and she could just sing anywhere at any time. Bishop Marvin, he was at Perfecting Church in Detroit. So our paths very rarely crossed musically. This first time.
Forgive me. So here's a moment of comedy right here.
Lord.
There's a user called CC Winans.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Donnie, bring CC to Nigeria. Now, you know and I know.
I'm looking at that right now.
And more likely, it's just one of my brothers from Nigeria who's put it on. Like, my friend, put your proper name on. But Bebe Winans, please try one more time for me to join. I think I fixed the problem. Bebe was saying he was able to comment but not join. Please request to join one more time. Donnie McClurkin, what are your three favorite things about London?
London. The antiquity, the royalty, the eclectic array of people. I love the history in England, and I love the fact that I got a chance to meet some of the royalty. But I've always had this affinity for England since I was a little boy and never knew why. And so now that I'm steeped in the British culture, praise God, it's more dear to me. And especially not being able to be over there in the last 2 years. It's really dear to me because this is the founding ground. England is the founding ground of America. And so we have our inextricable connections from way back when. So I'm a wonderfully enamored man with England. And there's such a heavy Nigerian population there that it connects me to Africa just as well.
So bear with me. Bebe Winans, so some of the young people on here are saying exit the live and come back in, and you will see notification to request to join live. Ice, who's one of our great producers here, I believe he's producing the event. If you can, just maybe tell Bebe to exit and come back on, and we'll let him on. But I'm seeing messages from the people who use these sort of platforms very well. Said, oh, Bebe said he did. Yes, I did. Oh, Lord have mercy. So maybe it's the geriatric.
No, really, because I got on by happenstance because I was trying my best to figure out how to do it.
So what are your three favorite Bebe Winans moments, would you say?
Moments? Well, those moments may not be the most uh, spiritual moments.
Are we?
BB, his hilarity. I mean, he makes you laugh so hard. You know, walking. I mean, back in the day, I took him to Northland Mall once, and he clowned so much. We were walking through a restaurant called Olga's, and he said, "My gift is working. My gift." And I'm saying, "BB, stop clowning." He's walking, and we went into the restaurant, and we walked past a man eating. BB hit the man in the chest, said, "Hey," and kept walking to our table. I looked at the man and said, "Sir, please forgive him. I'm so sorry." BB hollers back, "Don't apologize for my gift. It's working." You know, things like that. Oh, there he is. What's it?
Tell the truth.
It's the Mr. Winans.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing amazing.
Donnie, I text you something too.
I didn't see it.
I text you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, before we go any further, I have to tell you that BB Winans, the man that gets it in every day and puts us all to shame, has left me traumatized for almost a decade.
Right.
Because it was one of those moments where your gift was working. We were in the studio, BB Winans at Premier Rodeo, with his good friend Lawrence Johnson, and I do the thing that bigger men do. You know, when you fix your shirt so that your one pack doesn't show. And Winans looked at me and says, "I know that. I used to do that. Fix it." I said, "Jesus."
Why haven't you forgiven me for that all this time?
I have forgiven you. I just haven't gone to therapy. Oh dear. Winans, welcome. How much are you looking forward to coming to London?
I'm coming in before Donnie. Donnie was coming early, but I'm coming in earlier than Donnie because I love, like I heard Pastor say, I love London. Mm-hmm. And it's been so long since I've been there. So I'm really, really excited because for me to go early somewhere, it's got to be exciting. And to share the stage with people that you love. We don't get a chance to do this, much at all. And so to be with my brothers and sisters, and I believe I told Pastor, but Mr. Vashawn Mitchell is going to join us as well.
Excellent. So
Donnie, I was writing, okay, and you have to understand, I call him Pastor Donnie because of the calling that's on his life, but sometimes I slip because we go so far back. I do honor the mantle that's on his life and it's been on his life. But Donnie, I was writing this out, and I'll just say this now. You know how when we are together and someone is singing and they don't take it where it needs to go, and we look at each other and say, they left some meat on that bone.
Meat on that bone.
They left some meat on that bone. Well, that's going to be a part of the presentation. I'm going to have a red button, and when somebody is singing and they don't eat all the meat off the bone, all you got to do is come up and push that button and take over that song.
My songs are going to be taken over.
Gentlemen,
my song is really going to be taken over.
I am in shock. You mean you would do that when Bishop Marvin is singing? How dare you?
Oh, what? He's going to be the one running up to press a button.
He's the one that's going to be taking over.
Oh, God.
It's going to be a spiritual experience, but also a fun experience. But BB, most people don't know that you haven't toured. You stopped touring because you were doing other things. Mm-hmm. So for you, how much of a effort thing, commitment is it you coming to London? I mean, We know you love London. You could have just come to London and have a few friends for drinks.
And
But
that's what I was going to do. Is what I was going to do and plan a big dinner for my friends to come over. And it just hit me. And I said, you know what? Why don't we go celebrate in a way that, you know, God has gifted us to do. And it's been so long since especially me. And then after I asked everybody, I had to ask myself, are you ready? What I've learned is that really in everything that you do, and Pastor said this earlier, when God's called you to do something, he has gone before you already, and he has made the way. He has put in you what you need to be. I mean, Moses was the same thing. He said, God, I can't go. And he said, just let me put my words in your mouth. So
yeah,
you know, that's what I'm depending on, and I'm ready.
Donnie McClurkin,
yes, sir.
What's your earliest memory of singing with BB Winans, and were you both in the spirit all the time, or were you were you saying there was no meat on the bones when the solo?
No, my first memory, well, my strongest memory was 16 years ago. His BB and Debbie, Angie, and Margaret was singing, and I and my singers were singing in California together. And we shared the same stage. That was the first time we ever shared the same stage. And we sang together, and that's when BB first introduced me to the radio. And that singing with BB, you got to be confident. BB's thing was, you know, why do y'all frown so much when you sing? Why do y'all frown like somebody hit you in the stomach when you sing? He said, you can smile and sing at the same time. I'm telling you, BB has taught me so much about this industry. You know, Donnie, how you doing? He'll check up on you. How's your project doing? I don't know. I wasn't looking. I haven't been keeping up. Well, then why are you doing this? How are you gonna have something out and you don't know what's happening? Yeah, wow. That kind of brotherhood, that kind of camaraderie. We've sung together a few times.
But Pastor, it was 30 some years ago that we were doing the Broadway show. Don't Get God Started when you was my understudy.
Yes. And they taught me about Lord. Mother Boy. They taught me about Stand Up Under It.
Stand Up Under It. I told Marvin that yesterday. Stand Up Under It.
What's that? What's Stand Up Under It?
You have to be there.
Give me your glasses when I get to London, and I'll tell you what that
means. You're talking about 3+ decades of relationship, and even more than that with Karen Clark Sheard. You're talking about a lifetime relationship with Bishop Winans.
Lifetime.
3+ decades of relationship between me and Barb, Pastor Winans, and BB. And then the Clark girls, well, they might as well be their sisters, because everything in Detroit was connected. I'd never seen that before. I'm from New York, and there was no camaraderie amongst the artists in New York. But when I moved to Detroit, I saw Tom Whitfield, the Clarks, you know, everybody, the Winans, everybody was like this. And that showed me what real music camaraderie and brotherhood really is.
So I'm told Bishop Winans is trying to join. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that, because the two of you are a handful.
Yeah, you can put them on.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Geez.
It's for your own spiritual health that I wouldn't offer you this glass, because this is nothing but pride of life. This is nothing but flesh.
No. Let me give you a BB Winans saying.
Okay.
BB, I didn't know that you wore glasses. He said, no. These glasses ain't for seeing. These glasses are for being seen.
You tell too much.
They're not for seeing, these are for looking.
No, he said, these glasses ain't for seeing. These glasses are for being seen.
But that changed about 5 years ago. I'm getting a call. Marvin wants to come on. I mean, I'm getting texts from other people.
Oh wow. Let me see if I can let him in.
Now listen, everybody that's watching while he's trying, this is the time to tell your friends they need to get on this real quick. Tell all of London that this is about to go left real fast. Y'all ain't never seen us like this before.
BB Winans, who are you looking forward to seeing the most in London when you come?
He's frozen.
Cindy just sent me a message again. He's trying to get on.
Oh gosh. So BB, I'm asking, who are you most looking forward to seeing in London when you come?
When I come, what am I looking, or who?
Who are you most looking forward to seeing? And you're allowed to tell the truth.
On the stage?
Yeah, on the stage actually. Yeah, why not?
What for me, I'll say all of them. And the reason why I say that is because they don't know what they're singing yet.
I've
chosen all the songs.
Oh wow.
So I'm looking forward to seeing them sing some of the things that they're not prepared to sing.
Just for the red button's sake. That's why he's doing it.
That's not the red button. But I'm looking forward of us being together, really. Yeah. And you know, there's times that I'm with Donnie. There's sometimes when I'm with Marvin and with Karen. But we don't get a chance to do this, and for Sean as well. We're gonna eat up his song. I don't know if he's gonna get
any of it.
3 words out on Nobody Great.
But Nobody Great.
He may get 1 word, but after that, it's over.
I'm telling you, and that's what they do. They do this. If they like a song, it's their song. And when they whininize it, you can't get it back.
Oh Lord. But by the way, gentlemen, I can't see Bishop Winans. I mean, I can't see.
The guy has to let him in. Is it on Cindy Flowers? Do you have a request from Cindy Flowers?
Okay. Let me give that a try. Cindy Flowers. So, Donnie McClurkin, when you say they whininize it, what do you mean? I'm still trying to understand what stand up under it is.
We'll show you. We got to show you that. That's something we got to show you. But when they whininize a song, they take the song and they make it theirs. Cece was doing Always Sisters conference down in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And I was she brought me in to do a concert. What you got? What you got, BB?
So it's on Pastor's phone. I was wrong, not on Cindy's. So look for Pastor Marvin Winans. He's sending requests, but
Pastor Marvin Winans. I'm looking through my list here. But carry on, Pastor Donnie, you were saying.
Well, Cece was giving a girls' conference called Always Sisters down in Nashville. When they whininize a song, they take it from me. And I was in concert at the conference, and I started singing "Speak to My Heart." When I started singing "Speak to My Heart," Angie, Debbie, Cece, and Whitney run up on stage, and Pastor Winans comes on stage.
Okay.
And I never got a chance to sing the song. we start up, "Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit."
That's the one. That's the one. He may get four notes.
Because that's all.
Take that one over too.
BB, that's all I got out. And Pastor Winans grabbed her and keep on talking to me. Change those. Whitney, Cece, Angie, and Debbie took over all of our backgrounds.
Yeah.
I sat on the floor in Indian style, in lotus position, and just said, "Y'all go ahead." I never got that song or that concert back. Never got it back.
Oh, dear Lord.
He added a vamp on that, because, they're vampires. He added a vamp on that thing. Him and Ronald could add vamps like crazy.
Yeah. Now, actually, speaking of Ronald, BB, what would you give to have Ronald there?
Ah,
Don't do it. Don't do that.
but he will be there, because what happens, I found this out, in when you lose someone that you love, and that you spent time with, those memories that you've created, those moments that you've created, comes to the forefront. And so it's just like having him, because we created so many memories and moments. And that's why I encourage people, don't let walls stay between you and your family members and friends. Take those walls down, because we don't know when our last breath is going to be taken, right? And so I have no regrets, because Ronald is a part of my everyday, understanding. Pastor Donnie said something about me, but Ronald was that person to me that always would encourage me that I could do whatever I put my mind to do it. And he was cheerleading me. He was happy more for me than I was for me. And that's a hard thing to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Forgive me, gentlemen. Just, by the way, Bishop Winans or Bishop's assistant, if you have Bishop follow the radio station, follow Premier Gospel, then I'll be able to see his request.
Yeah, so that's what
whatever platform he's using, have him follow and just let me know he's following, and I'll see his request to join the conversation. So you're coming to London, and there'll be people here who the last 2 years has beat them up, and they're just looking for some reprieve, some joy, a ray of sunshine, and you're saying we're gonna have laughter. We're gonna, well, one of your songs actually, which we played today on the radio station, just medicine.
Like a medicine.
This is our remix. Just like a medicine. We're gonna have some laughter. We're gonna have some spiritual moments, and we're gonna get to share your birthday cake, I guess.
Yes, I'm coming up. Don, can you believe that I'm gonna be 60?
Welcome to the club.
Don, I know. I know. It's just so funny. I remember us in our 20s and in our 30s.
Ain't that crazy though? Ain't that crazy?
In our 50s, and you know what? It's just still the beginning of what God has for us. He really does. A lot of times the world will tell you, and that's what we're coming to also encourage people, let them know God don't have no age limit. I know some of the artists and people that desire to do what God has put in their minds and in their hearts, you still, if you believe and have faith, are still going to do those things, are still going to do what God has birthed inside of you. Don't let society say you too old or it's too late. Are you kidding me? So I'm looking forward to the things that God has planned for my 60s and for my 70s. And if there's anything for my 100s, I'll let that one go.
But let me ask you this. And Bishop Winans, I see your message that you're watching. Marvin Winans says I'm watching. That's great.
Got to get him on.
Follow the radio station and then request to join. As a matter of fact, we'll just follow and I'll invite you to join. So it should be easy. So you both are in your 60s. I had a gentleman who's a renowned pastor here in the UK, who is he's in his 60s too, and he said to me a few months back, when you get to your 50s, it's downhill all the way. And he was preaching that as gospel. Oh, BB's shaking it. BB, you're shaking your head because you look like a 40-something-year-old man.
Because he's getting it in.
Getting it in, getting it done, huh?
Getting it done.
House this morning. I run every morning, but you have to take care of yourself. Sometimes a friend of mine said this. He said, Christians don't want a miracle. They want magic.
Oh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want to be fit, you got to get up. Ask God to give you the strength. He'll give you that, and then you have to put it into movement. You want God to do this? Okay, He works with us. You got to do your part.
BB, you get up early, you're sweating buckets, you're punishing your body, and then we look at Donnie McClurk and he's not running, and his stomach is as flat as anything.
And his health is as bad as can be. See, y'all looking at the outside. God looks at the heart.
Now, so sometimes with other people, I get angry because he's only gained maybe 17 pounds since I met him 40 some years.
I wish to God.
But this is what people miss out. It's not just the physical. It is therapeutic. So therefore, as well, when I go to the doctor, I'm excited. Hey, doc, I ain't praying hard. Oh, Jesus, don't let my blood.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
when they say, let me take your vitals and they take your blood pressure, you go into excuses. Now listen, I ate before
I ate some rice with chili on top of it. There's no fear there. And that's important because, see, the devil is taking some of us out with high blood pressure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So someone's just said, thin doesn't equal, who's this, says, okay, so Del's to say, thin doesn't equal health.
That's right.
And I hear that, but I think many people will take thin any day.
Well, it's all according to what comes with thin.
I can hear my wife laughing in the background.
See, it's all according to what comes with thin. Now, I watch BB. He's gotten Karen into getting it done. He's got Cindy into getting it done. And so I get up in the morning because when I see him sweating and I see him out on the streets, no matter what street it is, it causes me to get up and use my bedroom as my gym. Because even if I can't go to a gym, I can do things in my bedroom that will get my blood flowing right, that will cause me to lose the weight, that will get my muscles activated again, those that are atrophied, that'll get my heart rate right, that'll bring my blood pressure down. And so every morning and every night now, I'm in my room for about 35, 40 minutes, getting something done so I can build up another discipline to go a little further. It starts incrementally. You don't have to do it all at one time.
Exactly. And even during the pandemic, when, all the places closed down, I really did. I had enough in my home where I could do exactly what Pastor Donnie said.
Thank you, y'all.
Lord, here we go.
Okay.
BB, I'm going to leave this to you.
It took a little while.
Let's just talk about scriptures.
It took a little while. But let me correct the statement that was made that was wrong.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Donnie was not.
Some love, some love. Welcome, Bishop Wiley.
Show something. Donnie was not BB's understudy. He was mine. BB had that Donald Albert.
No, but I was BB's before he left.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because you all changed Donald Albert out before you took it.
Yes.
Because we had just started, maybe about a couple of months. And then that's when Barry came in, because you told him, no, I want...
You guys who are watching, I'm on my way to my 60s, but he's been there for a while. And they say you start losing some memory.
No, that's not true. Donnie, when I got there, when I got to Broadway, Donald Albert was my understudy.
He may have been for a while, but Donnie was mine before I left.
Forgive me, gentlemen. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry. You're moderating this.
You wanted this interview? You got it.
That's why we're here. We do care about who was understudying who at Broadway, but it's because so, Bishop, how much are you looking forward to coming to London? We haven't had you in London for almost a decade, I think.
No, I've been in London. You just wasn't there.
Oh, he hadn't been to London to sing.
He's talking about to sing. Yeah.
It's been longer than a decade since we came to sing. It's been a long time.
You've been to preach. That I know, but maybe we didn't know, but certainly not to sing.
No, not sing. Yeah,
he preached.
So how much are you looking forward to?
I love London. I'm looking forward to coming. London has always been a delight. I will never forget the first time I heard you asking them about the first time they were in London. The first time the Winans were in London was in 1986. And we were so well received. You would have thought we were the four brothers from Liverpool. But, and it was just a great reception. And London has always been, I love the history. I love the beauty. I like the Queen and the drama that comes with it. But
See
Sorry,
there?
I look forward
forgive
to
me.
it.
You love the beauty, but you only like the Queen.
No, but I love all the people. I love all the people. I'm just trying to hit the highlight.
See, you have to understand. He think he's a king. He's been a king over our lives for
Forever. Oh.
Now,
The question is,
I need to know your name. Host.
ooh,
he's freezing.
am I the only one up hearing Bishop Winans properly?
He's freezing. Someone,
It's
you gotta
freezing.
go
Let me go
somewhere other than where you are.
He's breathing.
Can you hear me
It's
now?
terrible.
Can
Yeah.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Usually I don't have any
Yeah.
problem in this room. All right. So, host, what is your name?
The name is Oluwalumwele Adebayo Olariwaju.
Give
Okay.
him a little small one.
Well, my name is Adewale.
Yes, I remember
You remember?
when you were given the names.
That's right.
And but by the way, Bishop, because I always hear your siblings talk about what a force you are, and I wonder how much of your dad's saying, which I believe your dad had a saying, "You can't hurt my feeling because I ain't got none." Is that Marvin is?
Well, you know, I'm pretty much, the older I get, the more I'm like my daddy. But that wasn't it. They used to hurt my feelings a lot, but I got over it.
That's when he was 6. He got over.
I was gonna say because I don't know that guy.
Yeah, I got over it early on.
So people who haven't bought their tickets yet, gentlemen, I wonder, can you if the let's say, I don't know, the 150th person that buys their ticket and can prove it, what will you bless them with at the concert in London? If you're the 150th person that buys your ticket and can prove it, what will the three of you bless them with in London?
It's BB's birthday, so
Hey.
Maybe they can go to the birthday.
Giving him something, Bishop.
Maybe they can go to the birthday dinner. There's going to be a separate birthday dinner for these people that you're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was reading your comments and someone just said, and it is true, the last time I performed in England was when I did Donnie's record.
Wow.
Good
Yeah.
grief.
Who'd have thought I know you this way?
22 years ago.
Yep. That's
But
when it was.
Bishop, how can you say you love London and you haven't given it music in such a long time? I
Because
mean,
I
that's just mean.
I retired. You know, the years that we were out, people think, oh, I have your first album. And I'll tell them, that's not our first album. You know, we started, our first album never got released because we didn't have the funds to get it out. And then back in 1976, my father put his funds together and we put out 2 records by the Testimonial Singers. And that was back in the 70s as teenagers. And so when Introducing the Winans came out with Andre Crouch, I was 21 years old when it was released. And I was thinking the other day, BB, how the Winans were considered by Billboard the gospel music group of the decade of the 80s. And so we worked very hard. And so we retired. And then when before Ronald got sick, we had talked about doing another record and we were preparing for it. And then Ronald transitioned, and that was the end of my group, you know, because Ronald and I had started it. And so you can't replace him. And so, you know, we just, I'm good.
But I'm gonna make him do another solo album because I've been going through, like I told Pastor Donnie, I've been going through the songs that I want each artist to sing, and there's a couple from his solo album, and he go back in the studio and do another solo album.
But you know, on your solo album, Bishop, and by the way, before I ask Bishop about your solo album, BB Winans, I've seen a few people ask, when is your birthday concert in London? How can they get tickets? Please, just hit up real quick.
September 16th, the doors open at 6 o'clock at the Dominion. You can go to www.glowfest, that's GLOFEST international.com, and you can pick your seats out when you get your tickets. And don't get left behind.
If you get your tickets tonight and you can prove it, then you may get invitation to a private dinner that's happening. But you have to get your tickets tonight and be able to prove it.
Now, I've got a question. Bebe, what happens in the case of it being sold out?
Then we got to pray about Marvin's schedule. You know, he's always, but I think I can keep him there. I can keep him there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
we'll see.
I'm gonna bring the missus with me, and we'll enjoy London.
Oh, of course. on your wedding, sir. So I was gonna say, with your solo that BB was talking about, interesting enough, on the radio station we have a day where listeners just request songs. And by the way, Donnie's radio show is on the same station.
Yep.
And recently, a lady requested, and I don't know if you remember this song from your album. She requested A Sinner's Prayer.
Oh my!
She requested A Sinner's Prayer, and she requested it because of a situation that was going on in her home, and she was very open about it and says, people pray for me, but this is a song I want you to play for me.
Yeah. That was a great song.
I hope she's there, because that is one of the songs requested of my brother to sing. It's one of those songs that is just incredible.
You better hurry up and tell me, because I got to learn that song.
I know it.
So just the other day, maybe 3 days ago, Cindy was in New York, and she ran into Reverend Jesse Jackson, and he requested me, and he got me on the phone. The first thing he said was, Marvin, Sinner's Prayer. That's like his favorite song. The song was actually written, I did some tweaking of it, but it was written by Tommy Sims. And Ronald was with me when I recorded it. And so I went in the studio just to sing it, because he played it for me. I said, that's a song. Now, I'll need to change some words here, but this is a song. And when I came out, there was this eerie silence in the room. And I looked, and Tommy's head was down, and his engineer, Danny, they were just like in tears. And Tommy looked up and said, that's what a songwriter wants, someone that understands and is able to sing a song. So they were telling you other stuff. So I looked at Ronald afterwards. He said, Reverend, you shot him. We'll have to explain that to you.
We will.
Did you hear what we were talking about?
I can understand. Your brothers, they introduced one stand up under it, which I don't understand. Sorry, BB, you
Oh,
were
you
saying.
got to stand up under it, Doc. Yeah, yeah. We'll give it to you.
But we are excited, and we're looking forward to coming there and being together, and just being blessed by London as well as bringing a blessing to London. So I appreciate all these people. I'm getting ready to go and grab me something to eat because I haven't eaten.
Yep. Thank you for your time. Donnie McClurkin, a final word from you, sir.
Final word is simply this. I am honored, privileged to be able to come back to England, but with my brothers and my sister. I am, I'm standing on the shoulders of a lot of them, including their father and their mother. And I'm just that kind of guy that's grateful. This is going to be a concert like no one's ever seen before because we don't even know what we're doing. We're being sideswiped. But this is going to be such a wonderful concert. And I want everybody to come on out and be a part of it. It's going to be funny, but you better believe that the Holy Spirit's going to move. Because the songs that we sing to God, to glorify God, is going to usher in his presence. And I want everybody to be a part of this landmark time. It's the man, the music, the ministry of Bebe Winans turning 60 years old.
So BB, I would say you have the last word, but in my culture, the Yoruba culture, it's the elders that have the last word. But Bishop, before you say your last words, let me just, for someone that's on here, let me read these lyrics to you, the song we've just talked about, Sinner's Prayer. A man in chains, choices I have made, good and bad, still man. And so I wait to see how it lays. The beds of debt and promises I made. So who pays? And then there's this verse, the plans I've made so incomplete. Now it seems that our will complete, but I still
will compete.
I will compete.
Our will competes.
But still I pray as much as I know how that we'll get real before the sun goes down. And it goes on.
Sir.
Bishop, those are the words of people who right now are striving, reaching, wanting to be in different ways, whether relationships, finances, health, and they're on here, they're watching. Final word from you.
Well, that was one of the lines that I had to write in that song. As I said, Tommy Sims wrote the song, but he had some lyrics. But what I felt was choices I've made, plans that I've made, so incomplete. And sometimes it feels as if our will competes. So often we want to do things that God doesn't want us to do. And we have to find ourselves submitting ourselves to the will of God, even if it's painful for us. So I love BB. I remember when he was born. I love Donnie. We used to walk Karen Clark home from school when we were in school together. So we've known each other. These are 50 years of relationship. 60 really with BB and I be 60 years of relationship. And so it's amazing that after all these years, we still love each other. We still want to work together. We look fun. We don't need a script. We'll just talk about why BB wearing such a red hat with no emblem. We don't understand. But what we want to do. He got a red truck. He got a red truck.
Listen, let's end it here. Bishop, thank you so much.
Yeah, let's get off here because it's going at a red watch.
Listen, if you're on, get your tickets today. If you get your tickets today, you stand a chance of going to the dinner. And if you've enjoyed this, Tim Bowman Jr., I see you. Travis Green.
I see him, yeah. Travis, yep.
Remember when he was born, Tim Bowman
Jr.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you.
If you love these guys, show them some hearts real quick.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do they still say premiere when they say premiere gospel?
No, it's Americans that say that. We say premiere.
Premiere.
Premiere. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what they say. Premiere.
Good night, Jennifer. Show them
Good
some
night.
love, people. Come on, come on, come on. The blood, tap some love. The blood.